What's up? It's Squidboat. It's Tuesday night. I spent the entire day pretty much wandering around used bookstores. Stopped by my local comic shop for a minute. And just thought I'd show you guys some of the neat pickups I got today. They got a bunch of stuff in at the used bookstore I usually go to. And I also checked out a new one. I don't know if I'll go back to this one, but regardless. I'll start with this. I've been thinking about buying it at like Barnes & Noble and stuff, but I didn't really want to pay full price for it. So I was going to order it on Amazon, but I found it at this used bookstore for all of $7, and that's Green Lantern Secret Origin. It's a well-loved copy, but I don't really care that much, so pretty sweet. Sofa King Matt recommended this, being that I'm not really well-versed in a lot of Green Lantern continuity or backstory. He recommended this as something to start out with, so pretty sweet. Next from that bookstore is Marvel Super Action The Avengers. It's Marvel Super Action number 34. I'm a sucker for like late 70s, early 80s books in general, as well as into the 90s. The 90s stuff is a lot easier to find, but it's a lot of what I remember from being a kid. Next is a whole lot of Amazing Spider-Man. First we got 326, 384, 386. Again, this is what I mean by a lot of the stuff from the 90s. These are all issues from the time that I was reading when I was a kid. This is 387. Sorry about that. 391. I don't remember any of these issues in particular from being a kid, but still neat to have. 394. 397. And some more recent ones. 408, 501, and 503. The last two are books that were out around when I was reading in high school. So, the next set of books, I'm gonna admit that I haven't read a lot of this series, but I have a weird fascination with the character for some reason, and that is Dazzler. So first, I have back here behind me, I think it's the second book down right there. It's issue number 2. I'd like to get issue number 1 and her first appearance in Uncanny X-Men 130. But first, Dazzler versus the X-Men, number 38. I don't think this is in the main series, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'll set that aside. But got issue number 10. Number 11. Number 21. It's a pretty interesting cover. And number 22. So that's pretty neat. Next, I went to the bookstore that I get a lot of my used stuff at. Everything there is either $1 or $2, unless it's a big set of like a big run, in which case it's $10 or $12 for 5 books. So, first, I actually have done a little bit of research. This is where I think I'm most excited about. Let me stop the music. First is the original Swamp Thing saga. I picked this up being just excited at first, thinking it was the first issue, but after looking at it a little bit further, it was obvious just from this here on the cover. It says, this is the legendary 48-page classic, so on and so forth. I was like, oh, maybe it's a reprint. But after, 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 doing a little bit of research, it turns out this was part of a little series that DC did. It was like DC Special or something. With this is actually the second issue in that. Um, this one website I checked out, Comics Realm. I don't know if anyone's familiar with it. Posted. I mean, it's a high value that you're not going to get for it, but this is $16. So I thought that was pretty neat, being that I picked it up for a mere $2. So it's just kind of neat. It's definitely what I thrive on when I go pick up older books, like finding neat stuff like this and reading into like a little bit of the history of it. Next is a whole bunch of detective comics from 5 issues from the late 70s and I think into the very early 80s. I could be wrong. But first we have issue 468. This stuff to me is just awesome. Like, I love finding this stuff. That was, what is it, 468, 473, 496, 497, 498. And again, on that Comics Realm website, some of these books were valued at $40, and people were paying $12 or so for them in relatively decent shape. Now, these aren't in the best shape, but they're definitely not in bad shape, so that's kind of neat. Like I said, that's what I thrive on when I go to these stores. Next, just 2 issues of Batman, number 333 and 335. I cannot wait to read these. Batman is probably my favorite superhero of all time. It wasn't until I was a little bit older that I got into him, but I loved finding this stuff. I'm making a mess behind me. Next is some more 4 older books. Let's see how I'm Minoria. They are Adventure Comics. I think these were towards the end of the Adventure Comics run that DC did, but they're all starring Aquaman. So we have Adventure Comics number 449, number 450, 451, 452. So that's it for all the older stuff, but like I said, I just thrive on finding stuff like that. I love it. Next, the first bookstore I went to had some newer back issues, and they were charging like $3 a piece for them, which, you know, I don't know. I'd rather, if I'm going to do that, just go ahead and go to my regular comic shop. But found several recent back issues from the New 52. First was Dial H, numbers 3, number 4, and number 5. And I paid $1 a piece for all these, so I'm pretty excited about that. The next was Talon number 1. I have issues 2, 3, and 4. So having 5, or rather having 1, and being able to have everything together is kind of sweet. Next is Amazing Spider-Man 431. Just again, whatever, it was $1. And last but not least, from the used stuff, it's Action Comics 884, right? Yeah. I'm trying to complete a run of Action Comics from like 800 on, so needed that. Previously, this is something that had been bugging me. It was in my previous video, I had mentioned that Jeff Lemire was leaving Animal Man. It's the other way around. Scott Snyder's leaving Swamp Thing. Don't know what I was thinking. I guess I've just read too much shit to figure it out. And last but not least is a couple of things I got at the comic book store. And those are Fearless Defenders number 1, the baby variant. I actually want to say, I mean, the reviews that this has gotten haven't been fantastic, but they haven't been bad. So I'm excited about checking it out. It's a pretty neat cover too. I'm excited about it. But also picked up the Chew trade volume, first volume of the trade paperback. apparently the guy at the shop was telling me they're making this into a show, so it'd be kind of neat to catch up on everything and be able to follow it. And then I just picked up a box of boards. I have a lot of comics that are bagged but not boarded, and I actually went through a whole box of boards the other night fixing that. So that's everything for today. Tomorrow, I think my package from Midtown is scheduled to get here. It should have been here today, but I guess the weather up north delayed it. But it'll be pretty neat. I got some neat stuff in there. There's one book in there that has a lot of personal, a lot of sentimental value to it. So I'm excited to show you guys everything I got. Other than that, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll go ahead and do a whole unboxing of that, and you guys have a good day. Also, if any of you guys that are subscribed to me aren't subscribed to TheIncredibleCJ, check him out. He was generous enough to give me a shout out in one of his videos, and he also just reached 100 subscribers, which is really neat. So congrats, CJ, if you're watching this. And hope everyone has a good night, and I'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Bye.